right now.
Right ahead.
Yeah, because this is police abuse. This is what they talk about. Yeah, exactly.
It was right here on City News yesterday that we showed you this video of an off-duty Toronto police officer arresting 70-year-old crossing guard Muhammad Hamdeed at an intersection in Markham. It's the actions of all parties involved that have raised questions about conduct, excessive force, and who's actually at fault. York Region Police say they're investigating everyone involved, though Hamdeed tells City News today police have yet to reach out to him and take his statement, even after he was cuffed, tossed in a squad car, only to be released unconditionally. I'm Adrian Ghobrial. We're here at the intersection in Markham. It's right at Williamson Road and Borough Drive. It's right across the street from Mountjoy Public School. Now here's a little bit of a refresher about how things shook down. It was Tuesday morning, shortly after 8 a.m. Now Hamdeed, the crossing guard, says he was standing right here at the intersection facing west, holding his stop sign in his hand when a car started to roll through the intersection. There was children crossing on both sides of the road. He says he put his sign down in a defensive posture to try and stop the car from driving through. It continued. That's when he says he hit the car. Shortly afterwards, a passenger got out of that vehicle and approached Hamdeed. That individual, an off-duty Toronto police officer, who, according to the 70-year-old senior citizen, manhandled him.
He just told me this, I'm a police officer, you're a crossing guard, why do you stop? Now, at that time, it didn't strike on my head, you know, what you're trying to tell, because I'm not...
He says, I'm a police officer, you're a crossing guard, why did you try to stop me?
Yeah, so he grabbed me, from here he dragged me out, because the car was there, he dragged me out to that,
dragged you straight across the intersection?
Yeah, and pinned me onto the car, and I was like that.
We're more than 48 hours since the incident took place. Have you been interviewed by York Region Police yet?
No.
If the roles were reversed, if you were the driver or the passenger in that vehicle and you had rolled through this sign and you had gotten out and grabbed a crossing guard and dragged him across the street, pinned him up against the car, what do you think police would have done to you?
The moment you charged? Charge? I think they'll drive and they'll have put me in the prison.
Mohammed, how hard did you hit the vehicle with your stop sign?
When you say how hard, you know, how can I tell how hard I just say put the hand down, the signal down, right? Yeah.
To try to
stop the vehicle. Yeah.
And they drove through.
And you go through and it was going and that side, that opposite, that side, children were crossing again. So what happened? I banged on the back of the car. I was asking stop. It did stop.
When you hit the back of the car, was it hard?
Okay. Now if they say that I hit hard, I can just demonstrate. Even if I hit hard, right? See, the hardest I can hit is over this. That's all I can hit hard. It makes a big noise, but it's not going to make a big impact on the car.
There was an indication that obviously the vehicle was hit with a stop sign and there was damage to the vehicle that the officers noted.
The actions of the off-duty Toronto police officer are also under investigation?
The officers are going to be looking at every possible detail.
The crossing guard says York Region Police have yet to proactively reach out to him for a statement. This is being investigated. Why hasn't that happened?
I don't know exactly what stages our officers are in the investigation, but like I said, this does take some time.
What would you say to those who say, well, this is York Region Police protecting an off-duty Toronto police officer who was involved in this incident?
Yeah, we certainly understand that there's a lot of feelings coming out of our community about the different aspects of this, and we want to assure all of the members of our community that we are very committed to looking at an incident and determining if an offence has taken place and where the fault might be in terms of that, regardless of a person's occupation and employment.
As for the off-duty officer, City News has learned that he hasn't faced any discipline from Toronto Police. He's still on the job. As for the driver, we're told it was a young man and he's yet to be charged or be given a ticket. Now, ahead on City News, we're going to speak with Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders, and we're going to ask him if one of his officers are being investigated. Should he still be on the streets?
Let go of him. Let go of him right now.
Right ahead.
Yeah, because this is police abuse. This is what they talk about. Yeah, exactly.
Earlier on City News, we told you about the controversial interaction between a 7-year-old crossing guard and an off-duty Toronto police officer on Tuesday morning shortly after 8 a.m. Crossing guard Mohammed Hamdeed was standing at this intersection right here in Markham with a stop sign in hand. He says kids were crossing on both sides of the road. He says that's when a car allegedly rolled through the intersection. He put his sign down to try to stop the vehicle. It kept on going. That's when he says he tried to alert the driver by hitting the back of the vehicle. Shortly afterwards, an off-duty Toronto police officer got out of the passenger side of that vehicle and, according to Hamdeed, dragged him right across this intersection, placing him under arrest. When York Region Police arrived, they put him in handcuffs, and now Hamdeed actually passed out and only woke up once he arrived in hospital, where he had his charges dropped unconditionally. Now, we spoke today with Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders, who told us even though everyone, including the off-duty Toronto cop, are now being investigated, that officer is back on the job.
I'm sure right now York is conducting an investigation. I have a lot of time for York. I know the chief and I know some of the members there. They will conduct a fair and thorough investigation and see where it needs to go, and I will support whatever the outcomes are based on that particular investigation.
As it stands then, this officer within the rights, so they would be still on duty?
No, absolutely. Until I'm told otherwise, and until something else manifests itself to me, I don't see much of anything going anywhere. But I will wait and see. I won't speculate, and then we'll deal with whatever comes our way.
We're told the driver of the vehicle that allegedly rolled through this intersection while children were crossing the street is a young man. Now, he was not given a ticket or charged. York Region Police wouldn't tell us if he had his full G license. When we asked why he was not issued a ticket, all they would say to us is that the investigation is still ongoing.